Deep within the desolate confines of an abandoned bank in Snowtown, South Australia, police uncovered a horror that could scar a nation. Hidden behind a steel vault door were 6 barrels, each filled with acid, and within them the dismembered remains of multiple victims. This chilling discovery in 1999 would expose a web of depravity and cruelty unlike anything Australia had ever seen. Snowtown, a small, unassuming town, seemed like the least likely place for unspeakable horrors. Yet, it became infamous as the setting of one of the darkest chapters in Australian history. The nightmare began with the disappearances of marginalized individuals, people often living on the fringe of society, struggling with poverty, addiction, or mental health issues. Among the victims were Barry Lane, Suzanne Allen, and Elizabeth Hayden, each with a unique story but sharing a tragic fate. These were people who trusted the wrong individuals, unaware of the darkness lurking behind the friendly facade of John Bunting and his associates. Bunting, charismatic and manipulative, held deeply disturbing views. He saw himself as a vigilante targeting those he deemed undesirable. Under his twisted ideology, he formed a group with accomplices, including Robert Wagner, Mark Hayden, and James Valasakis, who helped him carry out his horrific acts. The investigation began when police noticed a pattern among missing persons connected to a group of individuals living in Adelaide's northern suburbs. It wasn't just their disappearances that raised alarms, but also the unusual financial activity linked to their welfare payments. Payments that continued long after the victims had vanished. As detectives dug deeper, they unearthed horrific details. Victims were lured under false pretenses, often by someone they trusted. Once trapped, they endured unimaginable torments before their deaths. Bunting and his accomplices recorded their victims' confessions, corked under extreme duress, to justify the killings and gain control over their finances. The barrels in the Snowtown bank vault contained the gruesome culmination of years of predatory violence. Victims were not just murdered, they were systematically tortured, dismembered, and dissolved in acid to cover up the crimes. The killers treated the act of murder as a grotesque ritual, devoid of humanity. The small town setting amplified the horror. Snowman's residents, many of whom knew or interacted with the predators, were left questioning how such atrocities could occur in their midst. The vault where the barrels were stored was in a former bank, a symbol of security turned into a house of nightmares. The fear and paranoia spread like wildfire as the investigation grew more public. How many victims were there? Who else was involved? And could the killers still be hiding among them? In May 1999, the investigation reached its climax. The arrests of Bunting, Wagner, Hayden, and Velosakis exposed the full extent of the killings. Over the course of their spree, the group had claimed the lives of at least 11 people. John Bunting, the ringleader, and Robert Wagner were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Valasakis, who cooperated with the authorities and detailed the gruesome murders, received a reduced sentence but remains imprisoned. Mark Hayden was convicted of assisting with the disposal of bodies, though his involvement in the murders themselves was less clear. Despite these convictions, the case left many unanswered questions. Could there have been more victims? Were there other accomplices who escaped justice? The Snowtown murders remains one of Australia's most harrowing cases, a grim reminder of humanity's capacity for evil. For the families of the victims, closure is a distant concept as the horrors inflicted on their loved ones are nearly impossible to comprehend. The town of Snowman, forever linked to his dark history, struggles to shake its infamy. The old bank still stands, its ominous presence, a chilling reminder of the atrocities that unfold within its walls. Even today, the Snowtown murders cast a shadow over Australia's collective memory, forcing us to confront the unsettling reality that such horror can exist in the most unexpected of places.